Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I was able to pick up the new limited edition Anna and Elsa doll set to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of Frozen. This set was limited edition to 3,000 pieces worldwide and sold out very quickly, so I'm so happy I got one. This isn't the first time they made limited edition dolls of Anna and Elsa in these outfits. They made an Elsa doll which is like highly coveted of the Snow Queen outfit before the movie was even released. And it was limited edition to 2,500 pieces back in 2013. And then they did the Snow Gear Anna back in 2014 as the second release for the film. So in this video, I'm going to be doing an extensive comparison of these new dolls versus their original releases, so we can really see all the differences and all of the positives or negatives that these new ones have. So yes, let's get them out of this box and we can start the comparisons. I wanted to quickly show the back of the box. It's literally just like a screenshot from the finale of the movie, and they didn't even bother to remove Anna and Elsa from the still. I don't know. The back just seems very lazy to me because they used to like make full artwork for these, and like I know it's the back of the box, it doesn't really matter, and it's like a blurred out image anyways, but like that detail I think makes a good Disney doll, and this is just like, I could do this. And like it takes zero effort, you know? Here we have the two brand new dolls, completely unboxed. Positives and negatives, but I already lost a sequin from Elsa's bodice, RIP. But yes, so we're gonna start the comparison with Elsa, and then we will move on to Anna next. Here they are side by side. I think it's like a matter of preference on what you're going to prefer as far as like nostalgia and what you think resembles the character more. As you can like see the differences already, with this one being way more saturated and like almost a cartoony blue, where this is the more like Snow Queen-esque Elsa pale blue. And then also with the skin, how her skin is almost greenish, for lack of a better word, where this is like the pale. Like, granted, I think this is too pale for screen accuracy, and the hair is like probably too yellow, but I don't know that I prefer the new one, you know? So yeah, here they are zoomed in. It's really crazy how different these sculpts are, and I know this new one is just a reuse of the Frozen 2 sculpts, and I do think that they fit that film better than it does matching the Frozen 1 aesthetic. But yeah, I think it's so cool to see like different interpretations of the same character. And then here are like the braids. I love the new one, how it has the multiple like metal charms in the hair as opposed to like the two like large ones. I also, though, I really love the fantasy of this like dramatic long braid that the original had, and I guess it's like a preference, again, screen accurate versus the more amped up limited edition dolls that Disney Store used to do, as opposed to just like remaking the exact outfit you saw on screen, you know? As far as the bodices go, I don't think it's a competition with the original. I just love the way this looks way more than this. This is like actually just like a layer of tulle, you can see right here. So it's all just sewn onto this tulle, and then essentially you could remove this entire layer with like 3 stitches, because like as you can see, it's not sewed down at all. And I get what they were going for with this, but I just think there's way better ways you can achieve that, especially now that we've had a decade of practice. I think this could have been greatly improved. Even like the saturation of the color, like, because this is almost the most saturated thing on the whole dress. So yeah, it's just interesting. Again, I love the idea. I just don't know that it's executed the way it could have been. And then up here, you have the beads, or like the jewels. They go all the way around, like without stopping. And then on the new one, they are only on the front, and then they don't continue right here. There's like a little jump to the 2 lines on the shoulders. And again, I don't know the reason for that, but I don't know. It's not better or worse to me, you know? I also wanted to point out that this whole bodice on the new one is a separate piece than the skirt. So you have that's like a removable separate piece. Whereas this one, it's a solid dress all the way down. Everything is attached to itself. The new one definitely wins in terms of the sleeve because you have actual embroidery with this really gorgeous iridescent thread going all the way down, mimicking that pattern on Elsa's dress. And this is like flawless, well done, amazing. You have the little gems as opposed to this, which was just plain. They did like, I don't know if it was embroidery, I think it was just printed on designs of this for the Harrods doll, but the standard release didn't get that detail. But yeah, this is really, really well done, gorgeous. The differences in the skirt are like really shocking. I personally despise when they do this like skin tight, I can't move my thighs mermaid dress silhouette. Like I love the ombre and everything, and the fabric almost has those lines that you need from the animation and stuff, similar to what this has. Whereas this is like multiple layers and it has that like sparkle of the ice you can see, and it's just super stunning, super flowy, like very, very accurate. The new one is very stiff, and to me they only do this type of like trumpet gown when they're trying to cut costs because cutting this very thin like this uses less fabric obviously than something like this would have. And again, you have no rhinestones on the new one, it's just that fabric. I think like on the shelf, sure, the new one, it's like effective in the way that like it looks pretty off to one side like this, but Elsa would not be able to walk like at all. Like this is business casual pencil skirt. The shoes are another interesting change. I actually adore the new ones, how they're like, again, like iridescent almost, and they have that transparency of the ice that they're supposedly made out of, you know, whereas these have the more like painted details and everything. But it's the same exact mold, it's just, you know, what they were printed with. This is the stand that the new Elsa comes with, and again, you get a stand like this when the skirt is too tight because it doesn't fit underneath that skirt. So yeah, the stand is kind of worthless. Like she's very wobbly. So like this is her on the stand, and like this is like, it's not very good. Whereas this was the original like crotch stand, and as you can see, like she's not going anywhere. She is going everywhere because it's not really secure at all. It's just balancing. Here is a comparison of the back cloak. The new one again has a lot more embroidery. They're also like two different shapes. This one being like rounded almost, and then this one is, I would say, a more movie accurate, like pointed shape like this. They both have like similar ideas. But yeah, the new one definitely has a lot more going on, especially with all the embroidery along the back, which is really, really gorgeous. My absolute favorite thing on this original doll was always how they like embedded a layer of glitter between the two so that it's just like this constant like sparkling gorgeousness. And they replicated that to an extent on the new one, except there's like all these, as you can see, like they just have these random large chunks of glitter as opposed to the like all over sprinkling. And then it's like much smaller fine glitter with these large chunky ones. And again, that's like gonna be whatever preference you have, but I prefer the all over like solid glitter versus the like super chunky. But again, this new cape is absolutely gorgeous with everything it has going on. It's very much similar to the Harrod set in terms of the amount of embroidery that it has. Also, it's super interesting because the new Anna, I noticed when I was unboxing her, has the double jointed knees that like the live action Ariel and the other newer dolls have. But then Elsa has the like regular Disney store legs. So maybe it's like a heel situation, but it's interesting that they have two different types. So yeah, that's gonna finish the Elsa comparison all up. I think we covered everything. The new one definitely like has pluses and minuses like I showed, and the old one, you know, is lacking some of the details the new one has. I personally just adore the old one because of the nostalgia factor and all of the hype around that release, and I also think the color scheme overall works better on the old one. But yeah, the new one is very pretty in its own regard and is a fun addition to have to your collection. I also wanted to quickly show the two side by side. This is like a custom I did a couple years ago at this point. But yeah, I used one of the Frozen 2 dolls and then put the limited edition coronation outfit on her. So I actually love the way these two look together because it's like a nice evolution with the same face sculpt. Next we have Anna, and here are the two Annas compared together side by side. I think on the surface, the new one, like the outfit is definitely closer to the animation, where this doll was again a more limited edition designery take on what you see in the movie. But yeah, let's get into the details. I will say, like right off the bat, this cape is like way thinner, where this one is like actual like wool and stuff, and this is more like accurate in the terms of how it lays, and I just love how it flows. But again, the like fantasy of this coat and how thick it is and how dramatic it is, and again, it's like a weight thing, but yeah, it's interesting right off the box. Starting off with their faces, it's like a very different sculpt. Again, if you like rewatch the first movie and then you watch the second movie, the animation is like that evolution, you know? Like the Frozen 2 has very different movements and everything as far as like the realism they achieved. So the evolution of going from like this cartoony more sculpt to the newer one for Frozen 2 made sense. But yeah, I think Anna's still very gorgeous. The hair color is super interesting as well. How, again, they went more realistic, I would say. But yeah, I think it's up to you which one you prefer again. The new one does not come with the hats, the mittens, or the white strip in her hair. So judging by the back of the box, that scene that they chose, I'm guessing this is supposed to be like an epilogue kind of set, even though Anna was wearing a different outfit in the epilogue. But yeah, here's kind of like the cape closure. This one is like metal and it's way thinner and it's super gorgeous, but they put it on the wrong way, because in the movie it's like this, where like the two sides of the heart are like touching like that versus the pointy ends. So I do think on the Anna they took more like designer liberties than they did with the Elsa, in terms of like adding little embellishments like the embroidery here. And then when I take off the cloak, they also like changed up the collar and everything, and then the little embroidery they did down on her sleeves. But yeah, again, I think the keyword for the new Anna was just like realism, as you can tell by just the ball dangly balls from this to that. Like, they're pretty much non-existent on the new one, whereas again here they made it much more of a design feature. And then for the bodice embroidery, it's the same embroidery which is from the movie, but this one is in the felt, which, not felt, but like velvet velour kind of material, which I don't know why you'd ever make a corset out of that, but like I get it, like it's like a winter doll. This is just way more pleasing and fitted, and it looks very much like straight out of the movie, very flawless. As we go down again on the sleeves, they added these little like buttons and then the embroidery along here. This also is like a very like realistic again material that this would be made out of, whereas this is just like the satin. I feel like this one has more movie accurate stitching, but again, I'm not necessarily 100% sure. But I definitely love the way they made this. This one is really gorgeous. And again, no mittens. Here's like a cape comparison, just so you can see kind of like how the two lay and then the differences in embroidery they each have. Again, the new one is like super light and flowy. It's like a suede, and which again I think is pretty for a doll scale, where this one is like very, very thick, and it feels more like a winter cloak though. So again, I like that. They both have rhinestones going all the way around, but to like different capacities with different colors. And then here's the back of both of them as well. I think they're like two completely different shapes. Yeah, this one's like huge, but again, this one is the thinner material, so it's able to do that, whereas this one is very specific in its folds. Taking the cloak off and going down to the skirt, you can see the differences in material already. This one is like a felt with the really fine embroidery like that was on Elsa's cape, and it kind of is short and it doesn't flow at all, but again, it's like movie accurate. It's just very specific, like there's no movement here. Even when you cut the ties like I did, it's gonna kind of stay as like more of a sculpture piece, whereas this one, it is like full flowy. There was 2 full layers on this, and it goes all the way around. Both have gems again, and yeah, I think it's just, if you want the more designer take or the more like real one, I love how this looks, but I love how this feels. The boots are interesting because I think it's the same mold, but these are just like almost patent leather, very shiny, and the originals were like way more matte. But yeah, other than that, I think they're the exact same. Going back up to the top, when you remove the cloak, you can see how she has more embroidery on this shirt that I don't know that that's accurate to the movie, but yeah, it's a really nice touch. This whole outfit is like very, very, very well made, and I love how it fits her like proportionally and everything. And both of them are constructed in a similar way, where it's 3 separate pieces for the outfit: the skirt, the shirt, and then the little corset vest. This is Anna's knee articulation, how she has the double jointed knees, and then that different foot that the Halle Bailey dolls had. So yeah, very interesting that she got it and Elsa didn't. I wanted to show this little what if, just to have Anna matching where the background scene is coming from. I think it's super cute. And also this like works because she doesn't have the white strip in her hair. So this is like the fantasy if we got like a true epilogue set, you know? And that's gonna do it for our little comparison, quick review of the new Frozen dolls versus the original releases that they had made. Overall, I think this new set is fun. I wish they would have went with original designs to celebrate the Frozen 10 years versus like rehashing movie accurate costumes, which we already have essentially. But for anyone who missed out, especially on Elsa, and you wanted that doll in your collection for a long time, you definitely won't be disappointed. I think the set overall is really fun, and we need to keep this like price tag going, the $349 for $2, as opposed to like a normal platinum set, which again was like under 1,000 limited edition, but it would retail for $750, which was absolutely insane. So yeah, I like this new like mini specialty set that's not platinum, but it's not standard release. I do think they should have raised the edition size a lot for these, like 7,000 would have been a lot more kind to people, because this one is already limited edition of 2,500 and now this one is limited edition to 3,000. So like they're still gatekeeping, but at least hopefully you had a chance to get her if you wanted her. I know it was kind of impossible. So yeah, please share, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.